Good morning. We're going to continue on with operations of polynomials, and lesson 3 focuses on multiplying polynomials, and specifically today we are going to look at multiplying a monomial with a polynomial. So when we do this, I'm just going to go back to addition and subtraction. When we did addition and subtraction, we combined our coefficients, or the numbers in front of the variables, but we did not change our terms with our exponents. The only time you're going to do that is when you're actually multiplying. So what I'm going to do for all of these is distribute. So I'm going to do -2 times 4x and -2 times -7. So -2 times 4 is -8, and then my x comes along for the ride. And -2 times -7 is +14. So in that case, I didn't have to worry about my variables at all because there wasn't a variable with my -2. For the second one, I'm distributing -8x. So since there's a variable there, I have to pay attention to that. So -8 times 8 gives me -64, and then x times x is simply x squared. Okay, again, because I'm multiplying, my exponents change. When I add or subtract, they do not. And then -8x times 3 gives me -24x. Okay, again, the next one I have a variable in there. I didn't mean to put all negatives here, but I have a variable here, so I have to pay attention to my exponents. So -5 times -7 gives me +35. And if I have one n here and n squared there, so n times n squared, I end up with 1, 2, 3 n, so n to the third power. Okay, next term, -5 times 4 is -20, and then n times n is n squared. And then -5 times -6 is +30n. Notice for all of these, all my answers are in standard form, so the biggest exponents first and they work their way down, and I don't have any like terms so far. For the last one, distributing, 6 technically times 1 gives us 6, and then 2x's and 4x's when we're multiplying ends up giving us 6x's. 6 times -7 is -42, and 2x's and 2x's gives me 4x's total. And then 6 times 8 is 48. I have 2 x's there and I have 1 x here, so I end up with x to the third power. And then 6 times -6 is -36, and then that x squared just comes along for the ride because there aren't any other variables. That's really all you're doing in today's lesson. But before you go ahead to the practice, I want you to try these next 4 problems and come back to check your answers when you are done. Okay, so you're probably going to want to pause just to check your answers here. Especially pay attention to your signs and your exponents while you're checking them. But number 1, I got -15x to the 4th plus 5x squared. Number 2, I got 14b plus 24. Number 3, I got 30y to the 3rd minus 20y squared plus 40y. And number 4, I got 6x to the 7th plus 2x to the 6th minus 14x to the 5th plus 4x to the 3rd. If you're good with that, go ahead and go on to the practice that is in your packet. If you're not, you can go to Empower and hit the help button, and that'll alert me that you need some help with this. As always, jump into the Google Meet if you have questions, and we can go through this together. Otherwise, have a great day. Let me know if you need anything, and I will check in with you later.